Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is going to be what if Naruto was abandoned by his family and was the demon king of Makai. So, yeah, guys, it is going to be really interesting series as I wanted to do it for a really long time, but today is the day I'm going to make the very first part of this series. So, hopefully, you guys will like it. As for the next part, the like goal is going to be, let's say about it, 200 likes and 80 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. And yeah, guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel and if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be really helpful to me as I want to reach 13k subscribers as soon as possible. So you subscribing will really help me a lot. And yeah, guys, I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below. So please follow me on Instagram as well as the link of another video of my channel of Naruto, which you can say I have uploaded today. What if Naruto was neglected and was taken by the Otsutsuki? So yeah, guys, the next part of it has been uploaded. The link is in the description below. So please watch that video as well. So yeah, guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. So yeah, the story starts deep in the regions of the demon realm, Makai, as there were thousands of bodies could be seen scattered around. All of them were dead. These bodies were of different sizes and shapes, as these figures were none other than hundreds, thousands of demons that were killed in a war. Yes, a civil war has been going on in the Makai for at least 100 years, as this war was instigated by two princes of the demon realm, as the demon king of Makai, known as Gol, had died over 100 years ago, and this war has started because of his two sons, two heirs to the single throne of Makai, as these were none other than the older son known as Seraphim, while on the other hand, his younger son known as Naruto, as these two figures were, you can say, the prince of the demon realm, while the demon king has banished his older son Seraphim into the deeper regions of Makai because he was a disgrace, naming his younger son Naruto the heir, but his older son was preparing for a conflict by seeing the weakening form of their father. He attacked along with the, you can say, the many lords who wanted to take over Makai. Instead of the demon king joined with him and attacked their palace, and after a long war their father had died, but his younger son was still alive. And now, at the center of the whole destruction, two figures could be seen. The older brother was simply looking towards his younger brother, which was none other than Naruto, as Naruto was on his knees, as hundreds of weapons were embedded in his body, but those were not hurting. After all, he was a demon. The demon blood inside of him could easily handle that attack, but one thing was hurting him, and that was the sword, which was slammed into his gut. This was the sword of their father, the cursed sword of the demon king, strong enough to kill even a demon king because of its cursed powers, made with hundreds, thousands of dangerous spells long ago. And now it was in the hands of his older brother, who was simply looking towards Naruto with an evil smirk on his face. Well, little brother. Now look at you. You made quite a resistance, huh? I'm impressed as he looked around to see 50 bodies of 50 demon lords around him, as well as hundreds of demons who were attacking Naruto simultaneously. But Naruto was able to defeat all of them, but his coward of an older brother was simply watching it all. When Naruto defeated all 50 demon lords and all those other demons, he simply stepped in and used the stolen weapon of his father, the cursed sword of the demon king, to attack him when his guard was down. And now he was here. As Naruto looked towards his older brother with utter hatred in his eyes, as he smirked towards his little brother, as he said, "So, now I'm going to be the Demon King. As you know, I am the older brother. As he pat Naruto on his cheek, as Naruto spat at him. "You really think that you can become a Demon King, huh? Well, you are just a disgrace. Our father disowned you. You're not heir to a throne. Even if you were to take that throne, you and I both know that the other demon lords of the Makai will never obey you. As his older brother started to laugh, well, you see, little brother, as long as I have this sword, as he looked toward the cursed sword of the demon king, as they will have to obey me. As you know, this sword has the power to cut down demon lords with its mere flicker, and I have defeated you with it. As you already know, no one can survive the attack coming from a cursed sword. As not to gritted his teeth, he could already feel the cursed energy of the sword going through his veins and dispelling his own demon energy, as he knew that he is not going to survive this attack, but he is not going to give the satisfaction of seeing him broken to his brother as he glared towards him, as they started to gather a bit of his energy when his older brother was not looking. As he released the energy, as Seraphim gritted his teeth, he should have known that he was always his little brother Naruto was always stubborn, as the attack slammed into him, but it was already way too weak, and the most it did was pushed him into the other side of the area. He was not hurt that much, as Naruto was now on his knees as he released a bit of energy, releasing all of the attacks and weapons that were slammed into Naruto's body out of it, as he was now looking towards the wound, trying to heal it up. But it was not working, nothing is going to work. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. These were his allies. As Kura, his, you can say, mate, looked towards him in tears in her eyes. Naruto, are you alright? As Naruto gritted his teeth. Kira, it is not going to work, as she was trying to heal him with her energy, as she was a fox demon. As she looked towards him in sadness in her eyes, the cursed sword, right? As Naruto nodded, as his allies were now looking towards him with sadness in their eyes. They have lost this war, as they should have known that that tricky bastard would do something like this. They never expected the cursed sword to be involved in it. After all, it was lost years ago, and now it seemed that Seraphim was the one who stole it. As Naruto gritted his teeth as one of his allies speak up, my lord, is there anything we can do? As we can use our energy to at least heal you up. As Naruto shook his head, there's nothing you can do. The cursed energy of the sword is flowing through my body. I can feel it. I'm not going to survive this one. As Kira had tears in her eyes, but there is something, at least something we could do, right? As Naruto closes his eyes, he already knew everything about the cursed sword. Once it is hit, his body will start to disintegrate after his demonic energy will diminish and his body will not survive. But suddenly his eyes widen. Of course, his body will not survive. But what about his soul? He was a demon, and therefore his soul is the one who should possess most of his energy. As he closes his eyes, he still have more than enough energy to perform the ritual, and with the help of his allies here, he should be able to perform it. As he looked towards all of them, I know this is going to sound crazy, but there is only one thing we can do about it right here. As they look towards him, we have to perform the incarnation ritual. At this, everyone's eyes widen as Kira decided to speak up. Naruto, are you sure about it? As you already know, you cannot reincarnate as a demon, right? As Naruto nodded, yes, I know that, and for that, we have to perform another ritual. I will incarnate myself into a human in the human realm. As there were several gasps could be heard from his allies around himself. As Kira was about to speak, I am a demon and my energy, most my energy should be connected to my soul. I will not be able to have all of my energy as a human, but with time, I should be able to, you can say, get myself to a level where I can use my full power even as a human and have a full transformation as a demon in the coming years, but it will take some time, at least centuries to come, as his allies were unsure, but they were not going to allow that Seraphim to become the king of the demon realm. As they looked towards each other, and after some time, they simply nodded and said, of course, my lord, we will always obey you. You are the rightful king of the demon realm. As they simply nodded at that, and after that, a symbol was made in the blood of many demons, and they started to perform the ritual. While on the other hand, Seraphim was finally stood up, wondering what is his little brother is actually doing at this moment. His demon energy should have diminished and he should disintegrate. So he decided to have his casual, you can say, walk towards the area, ready to see the diminished form of his little brother, and after his death, he will take over the demon realm as its new king. Suddenly, he saw a bright red energy engulf the sky as a beam of energy has entered into the sky. He was wondering what is going on here, so he decided to rush it up, while on the other hand, Naruto's body was floating inside of that red energy as a symbol was pasted on the ground as his demon followers had decided to go through their respective rituals, and finally his body started to disintegrate into nothingness as and after some time, his older brother arrived to see nothing was there. It seemed that he missed the show, and his little brother is finally gone. Oh well, now it's about time that he start taking over the demon realm with the help of this sword. There will be no one to stand up to him, as he had a smirk on his face, while on the other hand, Naruto's soul had decided to go through the reincarnation cycle, and now it's about to incarnate in the human form in the human world. While in the world of the toads, as the elder toad's eyes suddenly snapped open as he started to speak up, the one born with the powers of a demon shall have, you can say, shall awaken once again and shall rise to the level of a king to this world and the world where he was harmed as well. As after saying that, he closes his eyes, while on the other hand, the other toads, who were simply were confused at the moment, but decided to summon the other elders and start to tell them about this premonition seen by the great elder Toad. While on the other hand, the Cubino Yoko has just been defeated by the hands of Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, Tsunade, as well as the third Hokage that were present. And they just have Minato and Kushina just have triplets in their family, and because of the interference of a masked man, the seal was broken, and now they were present at the Hokage office as Minato and Kushina were simply looking towards Menma and Ruko. After all, they had just became the Jinchurikis as they were checking the seal of both of them. It seemed that the seal was alright as Jiraiya smiled at that, and suddenly he got poofed away. And this surprises Kushina, Jiraiya, Kushina, third Hokage, as well as Minato. But they simply shrugged it off, knowing that it was a reverse summoning, as they were discussing what they should do about the plans, about the future, what they have to tell the council as well. And after some time, Jiraiya once again arrived along with the great elder Toad of Ma and Pa. As they looked towards Minato and Kushina, as Jiraiya said, "Well, Minato, it seems that I have got a good news, as well as bad news as well, of course." As he looked towards all of them, and for that, I have bring Ma and Pa so that they can explain perfectly to you what is going on. At this surprises both Kushina and Minato as Tsunade and third Hokage were present there as well. As Ma decided to speak up, "Well, Lord Hokage, it seems that you have just have triplets. I first congratulate you on that, but it seemed that I would have to cut short your celebrations as we have grave news to give you." At this, you can say there was solemn mood in the whole Hokage office as Minato decided to speak up. "What is it, Ma?" As she decided to explain about the whole premonition seen by the great Elder Toad Sage, as this surprises all the members that were present here. After all, in the past, they had decided to ignore one of the premonition of the great Elder Toad, and that was the downfall of the Uzumaki clan, as they never thought of it much, but that confirmed it that his premonitions had some merit in it. As this shocked Minato as well as Kushina, who truly believed that the great Elder Toad could actually see the future after the downfall of the Uzumaki clan. So she decided to speak up. "What are you talking about, Jiraiya? What does this all means?" As Jiraiya decided to speak up, "Well, Kushina, I do not know much about it, but according to the great Elder Toad sage, the chosen child could take either way, and I truly believe that it is either Menma and Naruko they are talking about, and we have to prepare them for the future threat that is to come in the future. A great threat will appear, the power of the demon will rise The world shall face either the salvation or its destruction. Those are the words of the great Elder Toad Sage. So there are only two possibilities that the chosen one, as he pointed towards Manma and Ruko, either will become a great threat or a great threat will appear and the power of the demon while pointing towards their bellies shall rise and the world shall face great battle. So there are only two possibilities. Either they will become a threat or they will be the one to protect us against this threat as they all of them look towards each other. As Minato decided to speak up, well, we cannot have either the scenario, Jiraiya, so we will have to protect them if this threat is real, or then we have to train them so that they will never become a possibility of a threat. As plans were started to prepared, as Jiraiya decided to speak up, well, Minato, I do not have good news from coming from the other nations. It seems that they have decided to, you can say, take advantage of the whole situation. It seems that your presence is still getting a lot of hatred from Iva, and they will take this situation to their advantage. As Tadukage decided to speak up, well, Minato, I'm afraid that I have a, you can say, suggestions, but you might not like it. This will, you can say, solve the trouble of the village as well, and it will protect Menma and Naruko as well. At this, Minato looked toward the third Hokage along with the, you can say, Kushina and Jiraiya and Tsunade as he decided to lay out his plan. Well, Minato, we will announce that you and your, you can say, Kushina, and since everyone knew that Kushina was pregnant and your child, quite pointed toward Menma and Naruko, has died in the nine-tail attack, we will provide fake bodies to prove that this will calm down the other nations seeing that you are dead. So the Alva will back down for the moment and you can take Menma and Ruko with you to train in a far secluded area, and when the time comes you deem them ready to face whatever challenges they have in the future, you will return and this will be a surprise to all the other nations. And in the meantime we will build up our forces of Konoha, so if any attack were to come from either of the nations we will be able to handle it pretty easily. At this, there was silence in the whole room as Kushina decided to speak up. But what about Naruto? I know that he's not as important as Menma and Ruko as they are the children of destiny, but we still have to think about it. After all, he's our son. As Minato came to attention as he nodded as Tadokage sighed, well, Kushina, I do not want to say it, but sacrifices has to be made for the good of the village. Naruto, we will announce him as the sole Jinchuriki of the QB. This will prevent other nations from attacking us and thinking that we are simply to wait, and with that, the main Jinchurikis would be able to train properly. While Naruto will be posing as a Jinchuriki in the village as they were silent in the whole area as Minato decided to speak up. I do not think that that will cause much trouble to Kuchina. After all, Naruto would be seen as a hero in the village for protecting them. In the meantime, Menma and Ruko would be able to train properly, and in the meantime, Jiraiya and Tsunade will be able to help Naruto grow up. In the meantime, as they look towards Jiraiya, who gives them a thumbs up. Well, Minato, I do have my spy network, but Sensei will be here, and I will be able to check on him from time to time. As Minato nodded at that, as Kushina was still not looking completely sure, but Minato decided to speak up as the third Hokage said, Kushina, sacrifices has to be made for the good of the village, and do not worry about Naruto, we will keep an eye on him and he will be seen as a hero. As third Hokage speak up, well, Minato, I do not think that we should inform him about his heritage. After all, he's a kid, and if he were to announce to say to someone, Iva will get suspicion and it will cause some troubles. As Minato thought it for some time, but nodded nonetheless. As he said, well, that is a good plan, Lord Hokage. Only my trusted Ambus like Kakashi and you can say some other Ambu has seen me, so they will announce me dead and you will take over as the Hokage. In the meantime, we will train for 12 years. In the meantime, you will prepare Konoha's shinobis. And when Naruto is about to be graduated, we will come with Menma and Ruko so that they can graduate with him as well. As he will train in academy, I will ask Kakashi to stay away from him to, you can say, not cause a lot of trouble and suspicion from the other nations. And the training of Naruto is not as important as the training of Menma and Ruko, and they will be prepared for the threat to come in the future. As all of them nodded at that, as the plans were on their way, while on the other hand, deep in the far regions of the mind of a baby, a figure was floating into the space of nothingness as his eyes were closed, but a twitch of his hand could be seen in his arm. As now we have a, you can say, a bit of time skip. And now, 8-year-old Naruto was running for his life as he was being chased by multiple shinobis and mobs of, you can say, civilians and trying to kill him. As this was a normal day for Naruto, as today was October 10th, his birthday, and the, you can say, the whole QB drama. As Naruto has long figured out why people hated him, as he was an intelligent boy, as he has started to learn some things as well, but he was only 8 years old and the librarian was not exactly generous to let him enter, and other shinobis were always glaring towards him. One time he tried to spy on some shinobis, but they caught him, and it was not a pretty day for Naruto. As now, he was running for his life even though he had access to chakra, but he was being chased by many shinobis, so it was not, you can say, going too well. And just like he thought, he was cornered in an alleyway and there was no way to run anymore as he was surrounded by multiple shinobis. As one of the shinobis stepped forward as he smirked towards Naruto. Well, demon, where are you running now, huh? It seems that we finally caught you, so now it's about time that you start answering for your crimes. As Naruto was now at, you can say, his back was behind the wall, and now he was simply looking towards them in utter fear in his eyes, as there was little to nothing he could do, as he could already sense some of the ambus which were always following him, watching the whole drama with smirks on their faces, as Naruto could easily sense the dark emotions as well as the negative feeling coming from these people and their, you can say, not so pure intents towards him, as he tried to back down a little more, but the wall was there and there was nothing he could do anymore. He was well aware that if these people wanted, they could have caught him a lot earlier, but they were simply letting him run away like a chase, like a hunt. And now he was scared for his life. Well, not per se his life, because he knew that whatever, you can say, bad beatings they were never, you can say, wanted to kill him. Well, many of them wanted to kill him, but it was like they were keeping him alive for necessity, nothing more than that. As he could already feel the amusement coming from the ambush, which were supposed to protect him from the, you can say, bad people, like the other Hokage said. As he simply scoffed at that foolish old man, he was always trying to, you can say, trick him into forgiving villagers and try to understand them, and they understand and bullshit like that. As Naruto never believed that cunning old man, he was always up to something. As now Naruto was looking towards them, and just like that, the beating started. As it lasted for 4 hours, for 4 hours, he was beaten down to a pulp. And now all the, you can say, good and helping and loving villagers were simply looking towards him with smirks on their faces, looking the beaten form of the demon, as they like to call him, as they were simply smirking. Well, demon, that should teach you a lesson where your place truly is, and that is beneath us. As they started to laugh, as Naruto had his eyes closed, as suddenly he appeared in a, you can say, strange room, as these had dark corridors. As Naruto was confused as he looked towards his body, and for some reason he was completely healed. And he started to walk as something was calling him Naruto, as he was pretty shocked to hear his name being called, but that voice, it was somehow, you can say, ominous. But he decided to follow it nonetheless. After all, no matter how intelligent he was just a 8-year-old kid. So he decided to follow, as it was a gigantic gate written on it, as he was pretty surprised but decided to push it forward, and he appeared in another hallway just like before, but the voice was still coming, so he moved once again, the second door, the third door, the fifth door, the sixth, the seventh door, and but the seventh door was not budging, and it has a large symbol of seal written on it. As Naruto was confused, but the voice was coming from inside, and the 8-year-old kid he decided to push it a little bit more, as his hand started to glow unknown to him, and just like that, the door has slammed open. as he was surprised to see a figure was there. It has multiple chains wrapped around him as it was kneeled down. As he started to walk towards him, as wondering who this guy actually was. Was he the same like him, hated by all? As he looked toward the chained farm, as this person had white hair, pure white hair, as his eyes were red, as he could see his eyes coming from under the hair, as his body was teen like a teenager. As Naruto walked towards him, who are you, mister? As the person looked towards Naruto, as Naruto took a step back, wondering who this guy actually was. At his head, you can say, strange whisker like markings were not exactly whiskers, they were actually dark, as his eyes were red, as he was looking towards him, as he said, well, Naruto, it is good to see you. Even though my situation is not exactly you would call welcoming, but as you can see, as he pointed towards the all the restraints around him, all the chains, as Naruto looked towards him, who are you? As Naruto smiled, as he said, well, my name is Naruto. As the kid, Naruto, was surprised as he said, what? As the person shrugged as he said, well, you can say that I am you. As Naruto raised an eyebrow, you are me, but you do not look like me. And where am I? As he started to look around, now started to wonder why did he start wanted to follow the voice and why was he here? The person started to chuckle and now this scared Naruto as the person decided to speak up. Well, I am the hidden power that is sealed inside of you, as you can already see, as I am restrained inside of you, so you will never be able to use it to protect yourself. I can already see these people hating you, so they decided to seal me away, so you will not be able to protect yourself. As you can already see, I am restrained pretty badly here, and I am you. I am your hidden power, your special power. As Naruto was taken aback from hearing that, as he started to wonder why these people hated him, as he looked towards him, why? If you're me, then you should know why. Why I'm being hated? Is it because of you? As he glared towards the restrained form of the Demon King Naruto, as Naruto simply shook his head as he said, well, I am not the reason why you are being hated. It is actually your, well, as you can say, our parents' fault. As Naruto raised her eyebrow, as he said, what are you talking about? I do not have parents. They died. As Naruto simply shook his head, not actually. I can explain it all, but I would rather have you seen. As he, Naruto, looked towards an area as a memory started to appear inside of it, as Naruto saw how the plans of the third Hokage, the plans of Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kushina, and his Minato, his father and mother, and the plan to protect his sibling by blaming all the attack on Naruto, as Naruto was taken aback from hearing that as tears were coming to his eyes, as the demon Naruto smirked a little bit but decided to speak up as he said, well Naruto, as you can already see, after they realized that you have hidden powers and you were as special as our siblings, they decided to seal me away, seal your power away, so that you will never be become as special as them and try to keep you weakened and try to make you a slave to your siblings. As Naruto grated his teeth. How dare those people to do that first? They blame him for becoming a Jinchuriki when he was not a Jinchuriki of the QB, and after that they seal his special power away so that he could be weaker than his siblings. As he grated his teeth, as he looked towards him, what should I do to release you? As the person, as Naruto, the Demon King Naruto smirked a little as he said, well, all you have to do is to, you can say, cut the chains. As Naruto raised an eyebrow, and how can I do that? As Naruto simply chuckled as he said, all you have to do is to grab them and try to break them. Do not worry. This is your mindscape. You will be able to do it if you were to will it. As Naruto was confused but nodded nonetheless as he grabbed the chains and tried to break them, and to his surprise, they started to bend a little, and just like that, it shattered. As the demon Naruto smirked as he stood up and Flax bit of his energy, and just like that, the remaining chains shattered into pieces as well. As Kid Naruto took a step back, wondering what he should do now. As Demon Naruto looked towards him, well, it's about time that I am free. Do not worry. I will fulfill all of your wishes and we will have the revenge on our siblings. As he thought about his older brother Sarifam as well as the siblings of this Naruto. As Naruto was a bit confused, what are you talking about? As Naruto looked towards him. Do not worry, after all, we are one. As he pointed his hand towards Kid Naruto, as Kid Naruto was a bit confused and wondering if he had done something wrong, but then the memory which was still there of his parent saying that how special Menma and Ruko were, his siblings, as he greeted his date, as he caught the hand of the Demon King Naruto, and just like that, a flash of light appeared outside where Naruto's slum farm was present as the civilians and the shinobis were laughing about how they have taught the demon a lesson. But a bright red energy started to surround Naruto's body. This surprises, you can say, Ambu, Shinobi, and the civilians that were present as Naruto started to stood up as dark red energy has started to surround his body. His hair started to change color into pure white as his eyes started to change into red as dark smirk started to appear on his face. Finally, freedom. As he looked towards his hand, as his energy coursing through his body, just like he thought this human body can contain his energy to some degree. But that is not the time for it as he looked towards all the people that were present there looking towards him in shock and some of them with fear in their eyes as Naruto looked towards them. Well, it seemed that I have a present, welcoming present for me. Huh, well, that is a good thing. I will, don't worry, play with this present perfectly as he looked toward the civilians with an evil smirk on his face as the one of the shinobis present in the crowd decided to speak up. Demon, so you finally decided to show your true colors. I knew that you were a demon. As Naruto looked towards him with a, you can say, raised eyebrow. A demon? Do not insult me, human. I'm not just a demon, I'm a demon king. As he suddenly, you can say, the person, as Naruto opened his arm and the person erupted into dark red flames as he screamed on top of his lung, but it was not to be, as he was burned to ashes in mere seconds, shocking many of the civilians that were present there. As Naruto chuckled a little, do not worry, I will play with all of you. Don't be jealous of each other. And don't be at haste as he looked towards some of them. As he slammed his hand together, suddenly chains erupted from the ground, grabbing all of them. Now let's play. As with after some time, hundreds, no, well, not hundreds, of course. Well, coming from the parts, you can say. But anyways, all the civilians and the shinobis that were present there were literally torn apart as the chains were, you can say, ruthless. Those who tried to escape were simply killed in most brutal way. The shinobis tried to attack him with fire style, all of their jutsus, but they were not working. All of them were simply batted away like they were mere, you can say, annoyances as one of the ambo landed as the Ambu who were there to protect him from the civilians. And all that landed in front of him. Naruto Uzumaki, for the murder of Konoha shinobis and civilians, you are under arrest. As one of the brave Ambu spoke as the killing intent that was present there. Oh, well, look at that, a brave soul. I always like that. A brave soul. Why don't you give it to me? As Naruto simply vanishes from his eyes and his hand was through his body as he grabbed something blue and pull it outside of the body of the Ambo who was now looking towards it at horror as it was a blue ball of energy trying to escape from his grasp. I always love brave souls. As he opened his mouth and ate it all, and Ambu suddenly slumped down dead with a dead look on his body as Naruto looked toward the remaining Ambus. You guys also have brave souls, I must say. And after hearing that, the Ambus tried to sunshine away as Naruto had an evil smirk on his face. Well, I always like a great chase and a great hunt as his eyes glow with red energy as he vanishes from the place as he vanishes from the place, but a small dark energy was left behind as he started to grow and grow and grow as it turned into a flame which erupted the whole area as a whole section of Konoha was be burned down to the ground. All the parts of the bodies and the dead bodies that were present there erupted into flames as the fire was growing. Many shinobis quickly take notice of that and rush to the area using different jutsus water style to, you can say, distinguish the fire, while on the other hand Naruto was having his fun time chasing around the ambos and killing them, of course, and throwing them into the same fire as well. But anyways, now let us have a timescape of one day. Naruto was enjoying his new life as a human. He knows that the time between the demon realm and the human realm is different, so he should have plenty of time. But now he had a predicament. He looked towards his human body. He can activate his power, yes, and he will become a strong demon, of course. He will become strongest here. No one will be able to challenge him. That is all well and good. But his real goal is to enter into the demon realm once again and take his throne, rightful heir to the throne of the demon king. But he will not be able to become that powerful as he was previously. He was not just a demon. No, any human can become a demon with enough demonic energy. No, he was an heir. He was born a demon. His body was specially designed to hold his new power, but his human body will not be able to hold it. He has the power, yes, but he does not have the body. He would have to do something about that predicament. In this human body, he could become really, really powerful, but only as strong as a demon lord. While in his previous body, he was able to destroy 50 demon lords and thousands of demons at the same time in a single battle. He would have to do something about that, as now he had some other trouble, as and that was the villagers were glaring him and blaming him for the last night fire. For a moment, he thought that someone saw him, but then he noticed it was just a blind hatred, so he simply scoffed at that. Well, they can try anything, they would become a good meal anyways. As he simply scoffed and decided to went to his training ground. After all, he does have to test the limitations of his new body. While on the other hand, Hirozen Sarutobi looked towards the report of the previous night fire as he grimaced at that, as he was trying to build up the forces of Konoha, but last night at least 70 shinobis died in that fire, which he still did not knew where that fire came from. Hundreds of water techniques were released at the fire, but it was not working, as the fire burned down a whole section of the village and it was causing a lot of trouble, and many civilians died. That fire grew and grew and grew, and there was nothing they could do. They had to use Funchyuso barriers after he sent a message to Jiraiya, who used Funchyuso barriers to contain the fire as he looked towards the fire which was still burning rapidly, as he had a strong suspicion that some Uchiha has used the Mangekyo ability. After all, he has heard about some rumors about the Amaterasu flames which could burn for 7 days, but he simply shook his head. He would have to go to the bottom of this. His old rival Danzo is already using it to blame Uchihas, but there is little he could do about it. Many shinobis has lost their life, and he would have to work a bit even harder to make up the forces for that. As he saw, his personal Ambu has also died in the attack. As but they were supposed to protect that little kid Naruto, even though he does not care much about it. When he sent the news to Minato and Jiraiya got the news and told, you can say, Hiruzen to let the things happen. After all, it will build character in Naruto and he will strive hard. When he gave the information to Minato said that this will make Naruto to strive hard for the approval of his, you can say, village, and it will bring up character and all that bullshit, as he just knew that they simply did not want him to return ever having a good time while training. Well, what the hell was he thinking, giving them the idea of a, you can say, glorified vacation? But anyways, it is all done, and there's nothing he could do about it. Well, at least the anger of the villagers is directed towards Naruto, and this way Menma and Naruto would be able to fulfill their respective destinies and bring glory to Konoha. But at the moment, he has a mission to make Konoha as strong as possible. Well, it seemed that he would have to approve Danzo's less than, you can say, legal means to bring up the strength of Konoha. They would have to use Root. As much as he hated that, but there is no other way. As he sighed at that, but once again the door slammed open and a summon to the council was made as he sighed. He already knew that what the council was going to say, but this could prove to be a bit beneficial if he were to save Naruto in front of the council. He would be, you can say, more loyal to him, and who knows, after all, the kid is the Uzumaki and the Makaze. He could become a prodigy, well, not as powerful as his siblings, obviously, being trained by two aspiring shinobis and two of these Sonins. They should be able to become a really powerful shinobis. As he nodded at that, fully knowing that what the stupid council was about to say, he entered in the council room, and just like he thought, the civilian council was demanding the head of Naruto for the evil and, you can say, use of dark demonic energy for the fire and all the other bullshit he was saying. The civilian council members were saying, not knowing that how true it actually was. As just like that, a summon was sent to the, you can say, to get Naruto, as Naruto was in the forest, as he had his eyes closed and he was having a bit of training, but he sensed some human life form was coming towards him as he vanishes from the area as he appeared in one of the more seenable. And just like that, a armbow landed beside him. Naruto Uzumaki, by the order of the council, you are being summoned in front of the council. As Naruto simply looked towards him, the council, you say. As Naruto thought it for some time, he has heard some idea in the demon realm about this whole bullshit about the council, but his father simply shot it down. Well, it seemed that these human words were simply foolish enough to pass it, but hey, who is he to judge? As simply shrugged, as the Ambu put his hand on his shoulder and vanishes in a sunshine, as Naruto simply entered in the whole council room. As he looked around to see the civilian council members glaring toward some of the shinobi council members doing the same, as he started to look around, as he saw the shinobi, the civilian, the elders were present, as he whistled a little, as he said, so this is the council, huh? As he said openly, well, that is not, I would call, impressive, but hey, who am I to judge? As he simply shrugged, as he decided to take a seat, which you can say shocked most of the civilian council member by the utter, you can say, disrespect shown by this brat, as one of the civilian council members stood up as he glared towards Naruto. You will show respect to the council, you damn he looked towards the third Hokage, you damn brat. As Naruto simply looked towards him. Did you say something? As the person had a, you can say, angry as furious look on his face after he heard that, as Tadokage was thinking if Naruto is spending secretly time with Kakashi, he would have to have a talk with Kakashi soon enough if that is the case. As Tadokage decided to speak up, Naruto-kun, well, it is good to see you. As I was about as, but before he could complete his sentence, as one of the civilian council members speak up, Lord Hokage, by the behalf of the civilian council, we demand that Naruto Uzumaki is to be arrested and executed for the previous night fire and for the harm of the innocent people. As Tadokage glared towards him outwardly to show that how he was supporting Naruto so that the kid could be loyal to him and follow Konoha in the later days. As he was about to say something else, he said, as Hokage speak up, as I was saying, where were you Naruto-kun last night? As you know that, according to the civilian council members, you are being charged for the attack which is going on in the village, as well as the fire and the whole thing. So where were you last night? So that we can prove that how there you can say charges are nothing and just a misunderstanding. Try to seem it in a way that he was supporting Naruto. As Naruto simply looked towards him, he could already feel the emotions of the Hokage, the manipulative bastard, as he smirked inwardly as he said, well, Lord Hokage, are you asking me what I think you're asking me, huh? Are you honestly asking me that how I, a 8-year-old kid, was able to produce fire which is burning so hard that hundreds of water techniques are unable to distinguish it and had to make a barrier. And I, a 8-year-old, was able to produce that barrier and was able to kill over 70 shinobi and 100 of, you can say, healthy men at the same time. As after hearing that, as there was dead silence in the whole chamber, most of the members were now looking sheepish that how they were going to answer the kid. After all, they were looking like bunch of morons at the moment. Even the Hokage was now looking a bit sheepish As civilian council members stood up, yes, you're the reason for that, you damn demon. As Naruto looked towards him, wondering if he had some spy which told him that. But then he looked towards him. Nah, just utter hatred. As Naruto simply shrugged, he was going to take care of that bulldozer later on. As he thought in his mind, as Naruto said, well, if you must know, I was at my apartment. As he simply shrugged, as one of the civil council members stood up, lies. We saw your apartment when our people ransacked it last night. You are not there. At this, after in the presence of the whole council, as he was glaring towards Naruto, as Naruto now looked towards the Hokage, who was now glaring towards the civilian council member, in the presence of Naruto, he would have to punish this moron. Otherwise, he would lose the support of Naruto as he glared towards him. So, are you saying that, as Naruto speak up, that you ransacked my apartment last night? So you're the reason for that, huh? The civilian council member screamed, yes. At this, even the shinobi council members were thinking how stupid this guy actually was. As Naruto looked towards the Hokage, who sighed inwardly, but outwardly he glared toward the civilian council member, Ambu, take him to the cell. He will be given a fair trial later on, as Naruto simply scoffed at the fair trial. But then again, many things could happen in a cell. Maybe he could get a lot of fear and maybe have a heart attack. Yes, he had heard that humans have weak hearts. So yeah, a bit of heart attack would never hurt anyone, right? As he thought inwardly, as he chuckled devilishly in his mind, as he looked towards the Hokage, as Hokage looked towards Naruto. Well, Naruto-kun, I'm sorry about your apartment, but if that guy is saying that you're not at your apartment, as Naruto simply shrugged, well, I was at my apartment. I was just at the top of it and hiding, and I did heard that they were doing all that, but I did not pay them much attention. Just a secret basement on my, you can say, apartment to protect me from these morons and stupid utter fools. At this, the civilian council members were now glaring towards Naruto even more, as Hokage could have, you can say, asked his Ambu, but hey, the Ambus were dead, so who could he ask? As the Hokage sighed. There was no statement, you can say, refuting that. On top of it, there was no way that Naruto could produce that amount of fire and that powerful fire. So this whole thing was just bias, and it seemed that he would have to, you can say, put that civilian in jail for at least few hours or a few days so that he could understand the whole consequences of running his mouth off in the whole council room. After all, most of the council members did not care about it and will definitely not be punished too harshly for it. Anyways, as Hokage sighed, as he said, well, Naruto-kun, you may take your leave. As Naruto nodded and simply moved off. While on the other hand, the civilian council members were roaring bloody murder and trying to protest that they did nothing wrong and the demon deserved it and things like that. But Naruto already had some other plans. It seemed that this village would be a lot of fun. After all, there are many. He almost feel like that he was back in a demon realm. The, you can say, the aroma of the utter hatred running through this village whenever he was around. Huh, he almost feel like that he's at home. Oh well. As but hey guys, here I will left this part. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next part, we will have, you can say, a lot of, you can say, stories behind. We will have a lot of fun. So yeah guys, please tell me if you guys have some ideas. Tell me in the comment section. So yeah, we shall see you in the next part. So peace.